Hello and welcome. Right, now I went away last night because I thought I was going to be right, and I checked at that. It's 20 tons it will process every single month. 20, which sometimes you do wonder how you know what you know. I said on camera, oh, it's going to take us about 10 years to process this lot. Do you know it is? It literally is. I would have to stay on this Let's Play at 20 tons a night for 10 years exactly to process this, all that we've done so far. Now obviously in a Let's Play you wouldn't want to just do this once. If we guesstimate that I have got 2 million litres, now we would want to do that every year. Yeah, so the bottom line is we would have to place 10 of these to actually process what we would want to do yearly, and that is untenable. It is untenable at 20 tons a day. So I thought, you know, why don't we just do a test? As in, if you speed up time, I mean, the Disturb Simulations one actually is fit for purpose. It does the job that it says on the tin. This is a waste of money. It is, like I said, I've got to be honest. If you work out if a production is worth doing or not, some of that has got to be the time you spend actually to make that profitable. So in that time that we do what we do, I don't even know how much that's going to earn. I'm sort of angry, which anger's one of the worst things for making you not think straight, that it isn't fit for purpose. And it is like I was saying on Court Farms, and I went through the productions. Are productions worth it? Yes, they are. Well, they are, but in another way they're not. Not the Giants ones anyway. Now, I'm not sort of trying to be nasty, but that's a waste of 435,000, which if I sell that back, I'm going to get 200 odd thousand. It sort of already defeats the entire thing of me having the base game. Yeah, I mean, it's just not even worth, even if it's took a massive chunk of our money to actually buy that, and it's almost a white elephant, as that old saying goes, because it's just going to take 10 years to process what we've got, and that's just the beginning. We would want to be cutting the grass 3 times a year, and even if we did absolutely nothing else, which if you'd bought a BGA you would want to be using it as much as possible, the bottom line is you can't. You're stuck churning the very first thing that you did. So come November, we're gonna literally process NAF or no, that you won't. Yeah, that's it. Right, I'm gonna stop the cameras, but I thought what I'm gonna do is, I thought I'd come up to the highest one first, and then I wouldn't have. Isn't there a road? Can't we go through here? Let's have a look. Isn't this the road that leads down here? This massive long... It is sort of. If we go down this one and take a right, and then we are literally on that particular road. Yeah, just showing this bit because obviously, this is useful to everybody to know. But I'm almost at the point where I'm abandoning my let's stay on the base game, because you would need to have... Hang on a minute, isn't... Oh, no, yeah, we need to hook back round down to this bit to actually get to it. That's a grass field, isn't it? Couldn't we have just stuck... We could have done, but yeah. Yes, I'm almost at the point where I've got no choice that I've got to download and stick in a mod, because the Giants... No, it isn't actually, it was crap. Yeah, the Giants isn't fit for purpose in so much as... I don't know anybody that is ever going to do a 10-year... what I'd have to do to actually make this work is we're talking... we are working technically, so let's stick that on _1, because this is real work, even... Although, yeah, I know what I'm going to say, actually. I think I'm going to want... Well, there's 2 routes we can take. We either follow this to the bitter end, which would mean me loading this BGA and speeding time. Now the one thing is that in this, I'm not going to grow old and die in this game. So if I was to waste 10 years of my life doing this particular thing until all of our thing is processed, I'm not going to grow a little bit older at all. And obviously at that point we will have earned our money, but it would be nice to see how well this does. Of course this crop will have withered, so but am I willing to put my money where my mouth is and actually just do that? Well, I suppose the one thing we have got to do then, if we're going to do like a test, is switch that off completely and save the game now, and then when we've done that, we now need to send this lot back because we can't afford to, you know, literally. That's it. So there's no leasing being done right now. So we're sort of in. We've got a frozen in time point. Well, I couldn't load it back anyway. There's still the backup save, so I could have even gone back to that. So what I'm going to do now then is wait until. Oh, that's the other thing as well. We need to grab. Yeah, belt systems. Well, either that or when bucketing. Yeah. I mean, I have got the AGI pack, so that's the one good bit of news. Also, although it was sort of done, well, we've got this little lot to do anyway first. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go into a monster time lapse. I'm going to speed time up anyway to the max. I know my crop's going to wither, but that's why I've saved the thing. This is just a monster test, really, to just show how good this production is and how long it would take for me to actually, well, and even to make the 435,000 back from the energy is literally going to take a while. So yeah, I thought, let's put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, and it is true, I have worked it out, and I was right. It is 10 years to process what we've got. I think that would be everything. We've got nearly, yeah, we've got 800,000 there, and I don't know how much we've got with the bales, but what we're going to do is we're going to race around. Obviously it's going to go through the night, so I'm going to switch my lights on. Yeah, I think this will have lights. Yes, it has got lights, you can see them in the back. I think they are. Oh, I don't know that they are actually. So I've been sold a Duff BGA without any lights as well. Now then, so I'm going to say my words. Yeah, we're going to literally put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to see just how good the planet's basic model is. Will I grow old and die before I recoup my original investments? We shall see. Right, well we are now back in March of the next year, and we haven't even processed 2 sets of bales, and we've got 800 odd tons of silage to process. Just obviously 140, you could say 145, so we say 55,000 for a quarter, which is, it would be £200,000 per year if all we did was process this, which means it would take me 2.5 years to get back my original investment in this, and then to process the rest of this would take a further 7.5 years to process all that we've got on hand. So basically, even real life, that's not a terrible amount of money, but I don't think any company is going to invest in a 20,000 a month return. I would imagine that the costs of running that would far outweigh the actual profit if that was the case. So, got to be honest, looking at this logically, also from a game perspective, in the same time that it's taken me to do this, if I'd have gone to my competitor, I could have literally done all of my bales and all of my silage and received, if we sort of work out by, I'll do it on my other computer so I can actually sort of get you right. So it is, if we go on, let's have a look at the actual costs, what we would get per ton on the, using the actual stats that we've got on this. We've already looked, really, and actually we could just look at that. So the silage is, in fact, we don't have to look any more than on that. If we sold our silage direct to Sunnybank Bales, we would receive €389,171 now, right now. Or we do it ourselves, and in 7 years' times, if we just say in 9 years' time, we will have actually sold ours, and we will have got 20,000. Let's have a look. Let's work it out on my other machine. Yeah, it is. It is 20 grand per month. So 20,000 times 12 means per year we're earning 240,000. So yes, I am right. It would be actually, it'd be 2 years almost exactly to accrue this back, and then the other 8 years to actually burn through what we've actually got here. This is where the question of whether a production is worth it or not really comes in. It's because you've got to think to yourself, and this is what I was saying at Court Farms, right, now I've got all of this, I could earn 389,000 immediately, plus the bales. Now they are, if you say a grand, we said 160. I know we've obviously burnt through some of those, but if you said we sold those to our competitor without us having to worry about any of this, we would have 389, 489, 550,000. We wouldn't have a BJ, but we would have 550,000 euros in our bank right now. In fact, we'd have had it in our bank in January. Now, the question of, is a production worth doing, or a Giants production worth doing, whether it's based upon real life stats or not, this is predominantly a game, really, where we have got to, so looking at this logically, it would mean that I would have to run my Let's Play for 10 years to process what I've got on hand now, right now. So is that workable in a Let's Play? This is probably the first and last time I will ever put the planet down, because I realise it is a big white elephant, as I originally said. It really is. I stand totally corrected. If we'd have sold our corn, and I realise it's withered, we can go back, and we will do, this was just a test really to accentuate. If we did our corn, let's have a look how much corn is worth. Now we all know it's not worth a lot, but then again, it's by sheer, if I'd have just, you see, you say it's not a lot. Okay, that's not bad at all. Corn isn't. Is this the high price right now? Oh, it is as ish. Yeah, it is actually. It's the high price of the year. Wow, that is quite amazing. Actually, I would have been quids in. Let's just work that out now, based upon the present price of 897. 897 times 1,500 tons would mean that we would earn 1,345,500 from corn, doing it the traditional farming method, where we just sell our corn at the best possible price, and there is no faffing around and waiting. I would also now be replanting my fields had I gone to a competitor. Yeah, it's true. I would have offloaded and it wouldn't be a concern. I would have no worries about things. But now we've gone into this business, we've caught ourselves in a bit of a loop where I've now got to work for 10 years to get my money back. Can you see what I'm saying? Is it worth a production like this particular one? Not really. No, it isn't. It's not worth the investment. It's not unless you really want to grow old and die. I was literally going to go until we got nothing left, and I thought, I think people can see after just the winter that, yeah, I mean, basically I'm going to roll this back now. I mean, did I really want to waste 10 actual years? I think I would have needed that mod. I mean, we would have had to do belt systems and all sorts of manner of things to actually do that. So I mean, that's blown me away, actually, to be honest, that the silage route, I mean, again, it's only bad if you compare it to, if we do have the disturbed simulations, just the very basic one, not the monster. I mean, for the equivalent to the planets, I could have paid and bought the monster BGA that would literally process this whole shebang in next to no time. So yeah, I don't know what to do, because I can't run the Let's Play for 10 years, which then means, well, what do I do about the BGA? And does it mean then that to actually make things meet, I've got to put in somebody else's BGA? Well, the answer to that question is truthfully yes. I haven't really got a choice. If I was going to run the game, and even legitimately, stringently, I've really got no choice. I mean, yeah, again, this is a test, so it doesn't really matter right now what we do. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, obviously, which I've got mods in normally to combat this. Yeah, it's literally already more than halved our original sort of thing. So it wasn't worth going on with the experiment anyway, and it is an experiment. It will still be there on the game that I've done. But do we, I mean, again, yeah, it literally, if we sell that back, we get half of the money back, and to be honest, we really haven't got an option. We're not going to make any money. I can't do it. I am better to sell my thing, as I've just proved, and we've just gone through the stats. Better to take this to my competitor, better to grab that silage out and crack on with doing the, or actually to do the rest as we, if we I don't think I'm completely wrong on what I said. I don't know why we don't just do the rest as corn and then sell the silage to someone else just for sheer profit, because the BGA business is not worth going into unless, I mean, yeah, the other thing is, what we could do is almost a bit like a mod review. Is any of the things worth, well, I suppose that we could just buy the original with it, yeah, actually, rather than have one built, although it would be much more convenient on our land, although really most of our bales are over that way. So we could, I suppose, do the, and it wasn't government drain, it's government, it is government something, I can't think of what it is, government subsidy, that's the one. Yeah, that's the sign. I could literally grab that. I know it's a mod, but for testing purposes, I could waste a bit of time and we could literally earn a couple of mil, buy that particular BGA and just run with this. I just like to take this to the zenith. Sometimes it's more important that we learn from the game to see what is and is not doable I mean, I had the idea, oh, let's not have a single mod in, and it became apparent quite straight away that there are massive gaping holes in the base game list of equipment. There's an awful lot of equipment. I mean, I've a 2.5 ton bucket. That's rubbish. I mean, yeah, Giants have allowed the modders, but they haven't accentuated. They've not even given a basic set of equipment that would cover everything, even if it's expensive. It's not there. There isn't. There's no cheap forage wagons. There's no range, which there are in real life. There's no. Yeah, it really is. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I'm literally going to post this one. And then I'm not going to save it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to reload this back to the point that we were. But I think you can see what I'm saying. It really isn't doable with base game stuff unless you're going to somehow pull $1 million out of your hat. I don't know that we could have even done that by legitimate means, but sometimes you've got to take this to the zenith really to prove whether you're talking nonsense or not. And I'm definitely not talking nonsense. I mean, that's blown me away with how much we would have got if we'd have just sold it as actual corn. That really is amazing. Yeah, I've posted the very first episode of this right now, and I'm just posting episode 2 of really a failed Let's Play. Really, if I'm going to fail, I've failed my own rules immediately because of the fact I can't use base game equipment. I cannot use base game productions to literally make ends meet unless I'd have gone for, I don't know whether the middle one, I can't see it. I think if that is going to be the case, you're going to have to spend $1 million, $1.2 million, which I don't know how you earn the money to do that in the first place, unless you do, I suppose, no, you could do it. You could do the corn harvest that we did and then buy that straight away. But would you want to when I can just like go crops and earn a fortune every year? Then you've got to ask yourself the question, are productions worth it really? Giants productions, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I can make a fortune from fertilizer, from selling digestate to the right partner. I know, as in real life, I mean, it is true. So you can often sell to someone who's going to not pay you well, someone who's going to pay you okay, and someone who's going to pay you quite well and make not very much profit, a little bit of profit, and a lot of profit. It's true. It is as simple as that in real business. So, but yeah, using these productions, we're not going to make, well, we are going to make a profit, but it's going to take us till we're old and grey to actually recoup the loss. Well, not quite that bad. It's going to take us 2 years to recoup the thing back, whilst we would have been a millionaire if we'd have done it with someone else using their stuff. So yeah, I'm really not sure. I think it stacks up, and I don't think I need to point out whether that's a good or a bad idea. But all that remains to be said for this particular session is, yeah, we will continue with the testing definitely. Yeah, this is almost a mod review, you could say, but it's also a learning curve for me myself, because I early on went for Disturbed Simulations BGA, and early on knew that I'd made the right decision, and then obviously in Attingham I think it must have been this very one that I stripped out in the very first episode, because I would have taken me 10 years to actually do the silage that I'd actually done in that very first episode. And that's obviously, I can't even state how rubbish that is really without swearing. It's that poor. It really is. We're not talking a little tiny, we're talking major, that it's just, why is it there really? But have you got 10 years? 10 years of farming to waste and feeding that thing at that rate? Well, that's your choice. Yeah, anyway, it is true. It really. I mean, of course, the thing is as well, if you're brand new to the game, you wouldn't know any of this. You wouldn't know that it was a poor move to do this, which is why it's going to catch you out at least once in your farming career. of placing that down to think, why on earth did I place that? Anyway, yes, it is still a cracking game. It is, but it is true what I was saying on Court Farms, and it is true what I was saying here. Based upon the best price, if you sold at the best possible price, you are really better to do no productions at all and use everybody else's productions, which is not really a terribly canny business way of doing things. But yeah, all that remains to be said for this session is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this exciting journey. The journey is exciting, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.